Hi, I'm Miro. I'm a TNT champion.
This is Rachel Ellering, the queen of Strong Smile.
I'm Eric Bischoff.
Live events, all right? When the WWE comes on the holiday tour, when they come to Ireland.
Or Davy Boy without hair braids.
As a fan with braids, as his daughter without braids.
And you
Are watching
WrestleSlam.
WrestleSlam.
And you're watching WrestleSlam.
In a while. Samoa, first of all, we spoke last in Belfast a number of years ago on camera. It's been a while. A lot's changed since. But first of all, welcome back. How proud of you, first of all, to be returned to the ring. It's a big honor, but like you're back in the ring very soon. NXT Takeover 36. What's it like, first of all, to be cleared and be, fit to wrestle, basically?
It's a fantastic feeling. Obviously, sometimes it's like the unscratchable itch. You've been sitting on the sidelines waiting to get back into action, and then now you got the all clear. The path is laid before you. You got a great reason to come back, and it's good to be back. So I'm really, really enjoying it.
And obviously, you made a big decision to come back. We're seeing all the fresh young talent. There's so many stars that will want your scalp, and that will want to say, they've beat the great Samoa Joe. But obviously, you've got your eye on a lot of the upcoming stars. Obviously, Pete Dunne, he's a big name that's been mentioned as a future bout. Are you watching all these kind of guys at the moment, the likes of Pete Dunne, Walter, all these great guys on the NXT brand?
I'm always watching. And you know what else I've noticed while I was watching is that when I was active, nobody was that loud. When I was healthy and I was wrestling, nobody was saying my name. And then the minute I'm out of action, all of a sudden everybody giving interviews talking about they want Samoa Joe. Oh, give me Samoa Joe. Oh, I want to match with Samoa Joe. Everybody in the headlines when I'm not around, and it's kind of a possibility, but not really a possibility. He's doing commentary now. I'm not sure. That's the death knell. The career is over once he's on the mic, on the mic, talking about other people doing great things. Oh, it's done. And everybody was real loud. Oh, I want my dream match Samoa Joe. And now that I'm back, we're going to find out. We're really going to find out if everybody's as loud when I'm back on the block. So, let's just, it's a little experiment. You and I keep an eye on it because, since I've been back, I don't know. It's been a lot of murmurs, but not as much shouting as there was before.
I love it. Now, speaking of commentary, you've done a great job, but how frustrating was it to be sitting back and watching all these guys, go up the ranks?
Not frustrating at all, because, it'd be frustrating if I was somebody who thought I was incapable of climbing right back up that ladder whenever I wanted to. So, for me, it was actually kind of a pleasure to sit back in a non-confrontational stance and kind of watch other guys do what they do. And I was downloading everybody. Don't think I wasn't. Don't think I didn't have a front row seat to sit there and get all the data and information I needed. So, it was a blessing and a curse for them. That's all I can really say.
Definitely. Now, we have to speak of the NXT brand. How much has it changed in your eyes? Obviously, there's a lot of changes, with anything that goes on in life. But do you think it's changed that much since you first arrived?
Oh, absolutely. It's evolved. It's become its own brand. It's always in a state of evolution. And I think that's one of the great things about NXT is that, it doesn't have this rigid form to it. It's always going to be in a state of flux. It's always going to be in a state of change. There's always going to be new superstars that are coming up and kind of debuting and showing off. And I think that's that inherent property is what makes NXT exciting, is that, this really is one of the few promotions in the last decade where it's like you never know what's going to happen in NXT, who's going to show up. It's just and it's been fun. There's been a lot of fun surprises. So I hope that if there is any tradition that is established, I hope that it's one of unpredictability.
I love
it.
I'd
like it to stay in NXT.
Definitely. Now, Karrion Kross has a big mouth, right? A lot of people are saying he's perhaps punching above his weight. Looking to challenge you and stuff. What do you make of Karrion? Obviously, look, he's a good champion, but what kind of a threat does he pose to you?
Listen, he's a monstrous individual. He's a man who's domineering. He's a man who goes into the ring and he beats down opponents, against their will. He really goes in there and breaks people. But he's doing that against men who are not me. This is we're in some different waters here. The sharks are a little bit bigger and the teeth are a little bit sharper this side of the ocean. So, we'll see how he does. He I don't think it has escaped me. He has a very underrated advantage in young Miss Scarlett sitting at ringside, but I mean, it's just going to be embarrassing the things that I do to him in front of her, because he's got to explain that. I mean, he's got to go home and try to tell her why that happened, you know. So we'll see how it works out.
I love it. Now, speaking of takeover, look, we've seen so many great takeovers over the years. You know, you've been in many of them. How big is takeover too? Because like we have so many great events worldwide when it comes to wrestling, like the WrestleManias. But takeover is just as big. These takeovers are incredible. You know, the fans leave the arenas. You know, they're always on the buzz. Obviously, they're massive things, and wrestling fans need to tune in.
Oh, I believe so. And I think, like, you know, even too, when we're doing the big takeover events, you know, if you get to be a fan in that arena that night, I mean, you'll realize it's a special experience. And, you know, a lot of that is because it's, you know, it's a showcase of the future of the WWE. And I think, you know, it's exciting to see these new young grapplers coming up and doing what they do, and just becoming, you know, the superstars that they are. I mean, we've seen it so many times. Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, you know, Finn Balor. I mean, all these individuals who came through NXT, and you really saw the birth of what they were in NXT. And it's I think that's kind of the big fan attraction, is that, you know, you're seeing the birth of that. You're seeing the birth of these new superstars, and it's always a fun to be a part of that.
I love it. Now, we have to speak about the great William Regal. We had a good chat about Fit Finlay many years ago in Belfast, about how tough Finlay is. You said to me, you don't fall asleep on the bus because he'll crack your fingers, he'll break the fingers. But
oh yeah,
William Regal's pretty much the same. He's old school. He's obviously a great guy to be around.
It's a little bit different in execution, whereas Fit will break your hands and then call you a bastard afterwards. Regal will have the common courtesy to wake you up, inform you of how weak you are, and then break your fingers. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit more civil on the Regal side, but still just as painful. But you know, and like I was saying earlier to somebody, you know, when you're around Regal, he has so much information packed in that brain. It's almost as if he doesn't have the processor just to get it all out at once. But you hang around him long enough, and then like these kind of just spouts of wisdom will just kind of flow out of him, and you'll just be like, yeah, that's a good one. I'll take that too. That's brilliant right there. So, you know, anytime you're around him, you're always going to learn something.
Awesome. Now, we have to also speak of Triple H. Look, this guy has been iconic when it comes to NXT. He's obviously a great guy to have around. There's no doubt, like yourself and, you know, a lot of the younger stars will have learned a lot from Triple H, you know, backstage and in the back.
Oh, yeah. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, the biggest influence he has is he has an ability to kind of, you know, look at a superstar and figure out, you know, what that extra little need is. You know, a lot of those entrances, a lot of, you know, the spectacle that you see produced on NXT, a lot of that comes out of his head. And, you know, it's just, it works so many times. You know, it's amazing to see him kind of sit down with the character and kind of figure out, you know, this is how we need to put it together. This is how we need to make it look. And it's going to be awesome. And lo and behold, we'll come to Takeover, and you know, it's this amazing entrance, and it's just this great introduction to the world. So yeah, I tip my hat to him for that.
Oh, I love it. Now, I have to speak AJ Styles, Samoa. I'd love nothing more to see you and AJ Styles in NXT. I would love it. Just, you know, some of your most iconic matches have been with AJ. You know, you've had every match is iconic when it's Samoa Joe, but AJ Styles, you know, you've got a great history from back in the day. You know, maybe he should cross over to your waters and say, look, Samoa, let's do it for the fans.
I don't know. He's walking around with that big meal ticket he's got with him right now. So he might not be too keen to get in a real fight these days. I mean, you know, I need to find me an almost, man. That's just, he's got a really good gig going on. I'm a little jealous, to be honest. I mean, he's really figured out something great, but you know, absolutely. I mean, I think the never ending war between me and AJ will always continue. And, you know, he's always expressed to people that he'd love to, you know, do a little stint in NXT, come over and have some fun. So, like I said, in this chaotic world, no one knows what the future holds.
Definitely. No, we just have to mention, look, a guy you know quite well, Roman Reigns. I think Roman's a happy man that you're doing your thing in NXT and you're not in his corner. Roman's making headlines. Look, he's doing a great job as a champion, but I think, you know, down the line, we're going to see it. It's going to happen again.
Oh, I think, you know, it's not just Roman. I think a lot of people in Raw and SmackDown are happy I'm on NXT. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, like I said, you know, you're not going to hear my name brought up a lot. I will say that, you know, it's going to get real quiet when it comes to me, but a lot of that's because, you know, when you know the grizzly bear's in the woods, but he's on your woods, well, I guess it's okay. So, I mean, well, I give Roman credit though. I mean, he's done a great job of building a fantastic team around him to to I guess impose his will on the SmackDown roster. And I don't know. I get wanting to be acknowledged, but let's peel away a couple of the layers here. Let's see what's inside the onion.
He's not the head of your table, that's for sure.
Yeah. I ain't seen him at my table. He don't eat around here, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Absolutely love it. Now we have to speak quickly about the fans. Look, we seen for so long the fans weren't left into the arenas. Look, there was so much going on, but luckily fans are being eased back in. In Europe, it's getting very close. I know they're back to the UK in November. Obviously, the fans mean a lot, and I know that you're looking forward to seeing the fans, packed into the arenas again.
Obviously the return of the fans, very much looking forward to, obviously in the safest manner possible. But I think a big part of the WWE experience, a big part of just what we do in general, in NXT and just what we put on TV is the fans. They're the fourth entity that is kind of the another star of our shows. So it's good to be back in buildings with crowds and fans and to feel the energy. And one can only hope that that'll follow suit around the world sooner than later. So here's the hoping for good things.
We can't wait. Samoa, it's a pleasure as always. We're looking forward to a total domination NXT Takeover 36. That strap is going to look good around that waist again, my man. And we look forward to future bouts.
Thank you very much. And yeah, it is going to look good. It's been a while since I had a brand new little piece of gold to walk around the neighborhood with.
We can't wait. Looking forward to it, man. Thank you very much.
Take care.